It has been a long and bloody year since the end of the Great War. While the Emperor has claimed victory, the peace that so many heroes gave their lives for has not settled on the lands. The hordes of chaos, though leaderless, continue to taint the northlands of the Empire. Vicious warriors attack merchant caravans and raid isolated farms and villages. The Emperor's battle-weary soldiers patrol the forests and hills, ever vigilant against bloodthirsty warbands intent on looting and slaughter.
Hello everybody, welcome to another Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay The Old World session. This is session 2. My name is Ghost, I'm your GM. Of course, as always, running these games through Blades and Blasters on Roll20. If you enjoy the video or want to check out other good RPG content, rather great RPG content, go ahead and hit the bell, like and subscribe to B&B Blades and Blasters. Joining me today are our players Sim, Danish, and Aki as KRUGER, Dorthil, and Reinwald respectively. I think Raven's going to be joining us shortly as MORGUTT. Raven, are you here?
I am.
Are you in the game right now?
Oh, no, I haven't made it that far.
That's alright. I'm going to go ahead and read off a handout here for the second session. So I'm going to go ahead and show that to everybody. And Raven, you'll have it available whenever you get in, but I'll just go ahead and read it off. Can everybody who's in here see it?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Another peaceful caravan scattered to the wind. The orcs came from the darkness with red eyes and savage blades to tear into the Empire's supplies. Your party only narrowly escaped and even then found itself in winding caverns and dangerous sewers. But the four of you arrived mostly in one piece in the mountain city of Helmgard. Helmgard holds the choke between the Reichland and the Bretonnian fief of Parabon. Iron is mined in the hills and farmers from both sides of the borders sell their wares in the market plots. The city is tucked into a naturally defensible position with open sightlines for miles at either gatehouse. There are many adventures to be had both within and without the city. What will you do? First things first, before we get down to anything, I would like you, Sim, to roll me a +0 modifier, either cool or endurance check. You can choose. Big oof. I'm gonna whisper you something. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and jump in with Dorthil's arc in our RP channel. Unfortunately for viewers on YouTube, I had to summarize. Dorthil is looking to start a dueling academy or become more recognizable for dueling. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that right?
Gotta get famous first before he can open up a shop.
Right. So he's starting to. Dorthil is trying to build up some rep as as an exceptional duelist in the city of Helmgart. Not a whole lot of opportunities, but he did find some back alley duels to get started with. We're going to pick up with that. So time passes, and as the nights draw closer, the dueling night is ultimately upon you, and your instructions were given where to go. Not too hard to find it in the city, though you did have to cut through some back alleys and even through the sewers at one point. But you do arrive, and unfortunately I couldn't find a night cycle of this game, assuming this map, but we'll make do. So you do arrive at this long street, and as you come out onto it, Dorotho, there are many people kind of gathered around here. Mix of all different personages, really, both young, old, rich, poor, all of them scattered about along this quarter. And there is a match already taking place between a couple of thugs that you bear witness to. Neither of them looks particularly impressive, but you are ultimately approached by the pair you had run into previously, that being Lutz the Snake. He has a pipe in his hand and sees you approach. So, looks like you made it.
Hi, that's a did. I'm looking for a good bit of sports, and I hope you can provide. It doesn't look like much, given what you're providing so far.
Give him the chair.
Oh, shites. Is that big, man?
Yeah, MORGUTT, you can be there if you want to be.
Yeah, Morgan's got to be there to cheer.
And so you do notice a familiar face in MORGUTT among the crowd's people. As Lutz looks over. There's a bit of a brawl going on, fisticuffs, blades, what have you. Gotta have a few warm-up rounds to get the blood flowing for potential bettors. Otherwise, where's the money in it?
I understand. You might want a bit more sport against them.
In due time. And as they're going about, one of the thugs lands a vicious uppercut, and you see a tooth go flying loose, and some people in the crowd scramble for it. And he throws up both his arms and yells. Well, that's the warm-up bouts. You about ready? Any rituals you need to do before you get started?
Oh, let's see here. And I look over to a nearby table. Snatch a drink off of it. Drink that down quick. I think that'd be everything I got.
He nods, and you see the big man that he had been with before scoot off into an alleyway, and he waves someone over. Go on, step into the center. We'll have your first one out in a moment.
Sounds right fine to me.
And as you are getting set there in the center, a man comes out, human. He has a hood over his head and he pulls out a small dagger. Just kind of stands idly waiting for the mark. And looking at both combatants, Lutz goes ahead and looks around. Remember, first blood. Though I think some don't mind if you keep going. He holds a hand up in the air and strikes it down. Begin! He steps back. Alright, you can roll initiative.
Okay. There we go.
Ooh. Alright. Oh. Alright, so this man with the dagger comes running at you with a fair bit of speed. And it does charge. And, oh, not on top of you. And goes for a stab in with his dagger against you. I don't believe you have to try to defend that.
Alright, fair enough.
Just double check here because it had changed the system a bit. You might be able to get advantage by defending successfully here. Let me take a look. Yes, so if you win an opposed test, you gain +1 advantage, which can be good. So you don't have to try to defend, but it could benefit you if you get a success.
I will, let's see. What should I do? Let's see, I'll just try to dodge him.
Go for it. Alright, so you beat him in an opposed test, so you would gain +1 to advantage. That's basically a +10 to checks, and I will mark it with that.
Okay.
And it would be your turn now.
Okay, so I am going to go in. Since I dodged out of the way, I will take one of my foils, lift his hand up, and see if I can cut across it with the other one. Maybe.
Oh, go on.
I clicked on it, but slow.
Might be rolling slow here. There we go.
Yep, there we go. Okay.
He will try to defend against that with its weapon skill. Take the first one. Ooh. So yeah, go ahead and if you should have a foil, I think, or a weapon somewhere on your.
Yeah.
Oh shit, didn't have it on the list. Yeah, go ahead and roll on that.
Oh, I should have rolled with that. Sorry.
That's alright. I need to get him updated, I think, for token. So we'll take the so it's success levels plus strength plus 4, and your strength was 3 or 4.
My strength is 4, I believe.
So 8 plus
It's 3,
success
sorry.
levels of 3. And I don't think you calculated your plus 10 either, so that's actually 4 success levels, would be 12. So you actually strike him rather roughly with your foil and actually take him down to the ground. So go ahead and describe how how that looks as you tear into him.
So as he comes in, I knock his hand up with the foil in one hand, and I say, "Oh, looks like Vol don't smile on you today." And I just, with pinpoint accuracy, drive the point of the rapier across his arm, shredding any clothes that he has there.
Yeah, you cut a huge kind of swath through his clothing and nick him through the side of his torso, actually deeply, and I see a gout of blood come spurting out. And he falls to the ground, and he drops his dagger and holds his hand up, first blood being secured rather quickly. Lutz nods.
Flick the blood off of my blade, and I offer my hand to him, and let's get you a medic now, shall we?
He reaches with the free hands up, holding his wound with the other one. Lutz nods over, and you see there's a woman kind of dressed in whitish robes back over here. And Lutz grabs the guy by the shoulder and kind of pushes him roughly over after you lift him. Go on then, get fixed. Well, it's a good start.
I agree. Let's keep it going, shall we?
Right away then. Good. Crowd loves it. And people are cheering after that. It's a singular strike. Some money changes hands, you see. And MORGUTT, if you actually are betting, you can bet. I can give you odds. Whether or not you understand the numbers, we'll see.
Yeah, sure. MORGUTT will wager a couple of coins.
What do you have, and what are you going to wager?
That is a good question.
Are they just like orc toenails?
These aren't coppers at all.
We'll bet bottle cap versus your money. MORGUTT will bet 5 brass pennies.
All right, so the next betting odds are going to be, let's see. Odds were initially going to be 3-1 on against the elf, but now they're 2-1 against the elf. The newcomer, rather. Some of them don't realize you're an elf, so it's 2-1 against. So you're betting on Dorotho?
Yes.
All right. Insider info. So it takes the money and 2-1 payout. So 5 coppers down. Don't subtract it yet. They bring out the next man. He's rather rough and tumble. Tattered clothes and a really rough-looking blade that he has. Not a fencing weapon at all. This is your average sword. He spits on the ground and he looks at you. I'm gonna run you through and break your legs nice and slow.
Oh, do take a gentle on me, will ya?
No such luck, fancy pants. Roll initiative.
Oh. Sorry.
That's all right. Oh, yeah. So go on then.
Okay. So I guess as I come up to him, let's see. All right.
You could charge, not to influence you on it, but charging, just to let you know what that does. Let's see. I believe it gives you a minus tend to hit with a plus to damage. Let me just confirm that real quick. And charging gives you +1 to advantage, I believe, as well. So let me take a look at that to make sure. I'm sorry, my PDF is running really slow on it. Yep, charging. Charging gives a +1 advantage. And if you charge, your action must be a melee test to attack an opponent, so you must move at least your move characteristic in yards before you charge, but within your run range. So it's between a move and a run. You gain a +1 advantage on the attack.
Okay. I think I'm going to move up, and then I'm going to feint.
Feint? Okay.
So...
Alright, if you're going to attack the same opponent before the end of the next round. Okay. Fair enough. Alright, go ahead and make your opposed test.
Oh, shit.
Oof. Okay.
Yep.
And you said you were moving into him?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go ahead and move up to him there. Wherever you want to stand is fine.
I don't have a map.
Oh, really? Whoops.
Yep.
Oh, shit. You guys have been on the main screen this whole time. Why didn't you say something, Maggie?
I didn't realize.
Oof. I am so sorry.
That's all right.
I've been sitting here looking like, man, he's not...
You
gotta say something. You gotta say something, recorder. Sorry, everyone, folks. Now you should have something.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, now this looks like it should be, yeah. Jesus
All right.
Christ.
So... it's this dude here?
This man.
Oh, that man. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll just get all up in his biscuit there.
Very good. All right, and then it goes to him. What can this man do? So you do have +1 advantage still because you did. Oh no, you didn't. You didn't charge. Never mind.
Nope.
Okay. So he's not going to do anything too fancy. He's just going to go ahead and swing at you with his sword. It's a very rough-looking blade, as in he does not maintain it. It appears at all.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, and don't forget, because I forgot last time, but there's luck as well, which lets you go.
Yeah, you can always use that for rerolls and things like that. There is a thing on the there's a handout there that should be available. It's a help handout for Fate and Fortune. So,
Okay.
but that's pretty rough. You still could
Yeah.
beat it on SLs, but it's gonna be hard.
I will try to dodge that.
Oh,
Well, I should probably look up what that reroll thing is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Crits are bad.
yeah. Fate and there we go. Then Fortune
Holy shit, what a roll.
was a nice one. Okay, so I think if I remember right,
Fortune is the per session type thing, whereas Fate is
Yeah.
permanent.
okay, I'll spend a Fortune to re-roll that. There it is. And I'll try that again. So I don't hopefully eat shit, but knowing my luck, I'll probably eat shit.
Got
Yep.
this.
Oh god. Oof. Okay, so 9 damage right away, minus toughness and armor if you have any. So you can calculate that on, then that kind of it adds up to your max amount on your token.
Okay. So where's he hitting me at? On the body?
He is hitting you to the direct body, yes.
Okay, so I have 1 there. Toughness, I have 3 in it.
So minus 4, so it'll be 5, I think. But you do get an immediate critical wound from being criticaled in combat. Yeah. So let me find that table. This is the first one I think we've had in the game. So you get to roll the inaugural.
It is, isn't it? Oh, man.
Bandit's parent. I'm sure something along the lines of your mother was a hamster.
Well, his father, at the very least, smelt of elderberry.
Critical wounds. Okay, let's combat. Each critical hit will impact your ability to function in a different way. So critical tables, this was to the body, and so at least you've not been decapitated.
Oh, that's a bonus.
Yeah, that's good.
Roll a D100 and hope you do not fail badly. That's not going to be too bad.
Okay.
Oh, might not be good for this fight though. Okay, you've got to make me a hard endurance test. That's endurance minus 20, or you're going to be stunned for 3 turns.
Oh. Oh my.
Oh, that's not good at all.
It's very bad. Seeing as you mentioned how he was going to slowly break your legs.
Yeah, well, my endurance is a 36, so... Alright, I'll just roll it straight.
Oh my
this looks more like Warhammer.
Nah, I failed.
Oof. So stunned is not good. Stunned for conditions is... You have been struck by the head or otherwise disoriented or confused. So this was in the body, so it's basically knocked the wind out of you. You can defend yourself in opposed tests. You're incapable of taking an action on your turn, but are capable of half your normal movement. Okay. You also suffer a minus 10 penalty to all tests. He gets an auto... So he gets +1 advantage. So your advantage is gone. Or you didn't have any advantage on mine. So he gets +1 advantage for making a successful attack, but he's also going to get a +1 advantage because you're stunned. Okay. At the end of each round, you can attempt to remove a stun condition with a basic just +0 endurance test at the end of each turn. So that'll be at the end of your turn this turn. So all you can take right now are half moves until all those are gone. If you succeed and have multiple success levels, you could remove additional stun conditions. But for right now, I'm going to mark you with...
You're going to mark me as fucked up.
I'm going to mark you as fucked up, yes.
Actually, I was at 13, so 5, so I'm at 8. Okay.
Now, he did cut you. You can choose to hide it, or you can... And I won't make you roll for it, or you can reveal that you've been cut, if you wonder, because it is first blood, so people would step in. But it's
let's keep going.
All right. So go ahead. You can move halfway away, or you can just try to weather it and hope you roll good on your endurance this time.
I'm gonna try to weather it because if I move, he'll get a free attack, won't he?
Let me take. I believe there are movement rules that can let you disengage, but it might require you to be able to use an action. So let me take a look at disengaging. You have the following 2 options for living combat safety. If you have more advantage, so you don't have that. You could use dodge. If you have since you have lower or equal advantage, and you do not wish to spend advantage, you are pinned in place. If you wish to escape, you need to use your action to make an opposed dodge melee test.
Okay.
So you could do a dodge at -10 because you're stunned, and try to move away that way.
Okay. Yeah, I will try to do that. So there's that, and then for the modifier, is it just -1 or is it -2?
Should be minus 10 modifier because you're stunned, so it affects all your tests right now. It's pretty good. So it is opposed. He is going to try to keep you in with his melee. He does get... Yes, I'll get you in one moment, Morgutt. And actually, Morgutt, roll initiative if you're trying to be a sneaky fucker. Go ahead and actually, so he's gonna get +1 from or +10 from his advantage, and then +10 because you're stunned. So basically 2 advantage. Combat initiative should be the one you want, Morgutt. I think I've updated it. So. You will go next, Morgutt, and then let me know what you want to do when you get there. Oh, you do not get away.
Okay.
So you are stuck in place. And Morgutt, how would you like to try to distract this bandit?
He'll try and make eye contact with the guy and do the thumb across the throat gesture, sort of implying, I'm gonna kill you if you win this.
You don't throw, you're dead. All right, yeah. So, if you, I think intimidate is a skill.
It is.
On this. I go ahead and roll your intimidate +20 because you are a big man. He's a little bit distracted, so I won't give you any penalties because you are noticeable over. We'll say you're standing in a conspicuous spot to try to make this happen.
Okay, so +20 in the modifier box?
Yes. Well, this is just 20 because
It's
you put
20,
plus and
right,
double
yeah.
plus. Yeah. No. He might have seen it. If he did, for whatever reason, he's not bothered by it.
Yeah.
And he's gonna press his advantage on Dorothil, and he'll swing at you with his sword again. Same thing, +20.
Thanks, Morgutt.
Oh!
Oh my!
Uh-oh.
Big fail.
So you can defend against that because it will it could help you get advantage back.
Yeah, so dodge then, because that's what I can defend with, right?
Yes, you can use dodge or melee.
Okay.
Melee weapon skill, whichever one you prefer.
I'll try.
They're at -10 though. You're still stunned, but yes.
That's. Nope.
That's all right. He failed worse than you did. So you don't gain any advantage, but he loses. He's gonna lose his advantage, and he's I don't want brown, and he's fumbled badly. So now we get to see fumbles. What that does, getting
Bring it
everything
all
out
out.
of him. Yeah, fucking perfect
Shit.
timing. So fumble in combat is. We get to roll on the oops table.
Is it actually
As
called?
it's called, it is actually called the oop.
Perfect.
Oh fuck! Amazing. So he swings, and it's an awkward swing as you're kind of stumbling around, and actually scrapes across the cobblestone, and his sword breaks in half.
Oh shit!
Very nice.
So he now has a rusty broken sword instead of just a rusty sword. And that's not good for any damage output, really. And he looks at his sword and says, oh, fuck it all, and he is upset. Go ahead and roll your +0 endurance test, see if we can clear you some of these stun conditions.
That'd be great.
So 1 + 8, you are no longer stunned. You cleared
Sweet.
all your conditions with that.
Oof.
All right, so no more -10. And it is your turn.
Okay. I am a little pissed, obviously. So I would like to try to stab him. What the hell does this one do? Sorry, I just want to read this. Okay. Nah, I've fucked around at the moment. I'm just going to stab him.
Go on.
You got this. Hey.
Pretty good. It's going to roll to defend. Ooh, dead even on the successes there. So he does successfully defend with his little, what basically remains like half a sword at this point. It's all chipped up at the end. So he's cagey, he's fighting. So no advantage either way on that one. Morgott, if you're doing anything else.
Yeah, if there's someone in the crowd here next to Morgutt that has a full drink in their hand, Morgutt will bump them, trying to spill the drink and wet the ground behind the bandit.
Oh my god.
Huh. I don't really know what you should roll for this. Let me look at skills. It's a good idea.
It depends if he's trying to not. Well, I guess. I mean, who's gonna fucking complain?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna be like, oh, someone be pissed off that you.
Hey, big
who's gonna? Yeah, yeah. Who's gonna say something? Weird one, but I guess roll athletics with strength instead of agility. I think you can change the characteristic. So roll athletics with strength because you're trying to chest bump somebody's back basically. So
you're gonna end up
plus
just
20,
tossing the
plus 20
fucker
on the
behind the band and you'll trip over him.
Yeah.
He's just gonna go flying under the guy's feet. Ooh.
With the plus 20, you would have succeeded.
Oh, you would
I
have.
think, right?
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
Wait. Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. So yeah, you would have. So standard success. You check somebody, kind of like, kind of chest bump their back, and this drink goes spilling into the circle and kind of splashes this bandit in the eyes. So Dorothy, you're gonna get +1 advantage.
Amazing.
For the next go around here for any of your tests now. Let's seize the drink spilled and see how it happens. Stay out of the fucking ring. I'm not responsible if you get carved up. And bandit's pissed off, wiping his face, and he goes to swing at Dorthil. This guy's a baller. What the fuck?
Damn,
He's on fucking
right.
point.
Okay, yeah, I'll try to parry that.
Oh no! This fight!
Oh my god.
This isn't even the last guy.
You have
Jesus.
luck, or I mean fortune.
No, I don't.
Elves
That's
don't.
it.
Elves have very little.
Oh, they
Yeah.
don't. I forget humans have a shitload, and I put all of
I
mine
got
into
one.
luck.
Roll a D100.
Yep.
That's not good. Let's consult. Oop. You stumble badly, finding it hard to right yourself and lose your next move. So you don't miss an action, you can't move. It's not the worst thing that could happen. You do lose your advantage, though.
All right. The worst thing.
So his hit kind of knocks you off balance a bit, and I mean, it's 3 damage. So I'm pretty sure your toughness and armor absorbs that. You do take 1 automatic wound because of success. Anytime you have a success, unless your weapon is undamaging, it deals 1 wound automatically. So you do take 1 through everything. That's how that works. But
Okay.
and then he gains 1 advantage for a successful test. It's back up to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to try to poke him again. Let's see. Oh, thank God.
Pretty good. So on your weapon, this is a guess. I'm willing to bet it's impale.
Let me see here. It is.
Okay, so impale does a cool thing. if this is successful. On multiples, on anything that can be divided by 10 squarely, I think it's an automatic critical hit.
Ooh.
Let me check the person who I have that also has that. That you may or may not become familiar with shortly. Yes, this weapon is so it's actually precise. It's not impaled. Do you have precise on your weapon?
I don't have fast and impale.
Really?
I have a rapier.
Oh, fair enough. Well, it's still a good strike. I mean, so 4, and then he's gonna try to defend. So yeah, I guess it's the foil that has that disregard. I think impale is still good. What does impale do?
God, I can't remember. I remember looking this up, but
oh no, yeah, no, impale is the one. Yeah, no, impale weapons can kill with a single clean blow. I got mixed up with precise. Impale weapons can kill with a single clean blow. Impale weapons cause a critical hit on any number divisible by 10 as well as doubles when rolled under an appropriate test. So that is an automatic critical if it hits him. So let's see if he defends that. He's gonna have to roll pretty well.
He's been doing that.
Not this time. So it's 1 successful versus 4. So it's going to be a difference of 3. You gain an advantage. He's going to lose his.
Okay. My damage is +4.
+4, so it's going to be
7.
11. No, because it's success levels plus strength bonus plus 4.
Oh shit! Yep.
So it's 8. So it's 8 base plus 3, 11. And then roll a d100, and you hit him. Let's go ahead and roll your weapon to see where it hits him. You might accidentally kill this guy. Oh, not with 28, but it's me rough. In the fucking face. All right. So in the face, that is. Ooh, you ripped open his ear. So he's gonna tap his next go around anyway. But go ahead and describe how it looks as you take off an ear, cleave through it. How does it look?
So yeah, I'm obviously getting a little red in the face just with the way that this fight has gone and getting cold cocked like I did. And my eyes narrow and I just lean in and just flick his ear off. They call it the Tyson maneuver.
So using the Tyson maneuver, this ear goes flying onto the cobblestone. Again, people rush to collect it. And he just falls to the ground, grabbing his head and drops his blade. And, you son of a whore! And he's just screaming a bunch of profanities as he's rolling around the ground.
I just slowly walk away and flick the blood off of my blade.
Yeah, Morga, you definitely get it if you want it, because no one's going to try to stop you.
No one's going to fight you.
There had been a guy who grabbed his, and yeah, you're able to get the ear if you'd like it.
He does.
Look, watch over me.
And Lutz looks over you and, that wasn't quite the first blood.
You're right, it wasn't, but I think I'm still alright.
Rules are, if you go see the healer, I've got to pull you aside, but if you want to fight the last man, you certainly can.
I came here to win. Let's do it.
Be mindful of this one. If you don't tap one first blood, he might kill you.
Fair enough. Oh shit, he's giant.
Standing at 9 feet tall. No, he's coming out of the crowd. You see, he's actually rather dapper looking. He's got rather fanciful clothes, and he stands there in the middle of the street. Draws a foil from his hip in a scabbard for it, and then draws a knife from his waistcoat in his offhand, and stands at the ready. And Lutz, of course, gives the signal. So last initiative.
Oh, and Morgutt will take the winnings from that round, but he will let the original bet ride.
Okay, so you're gonna take 5, but then put 5 back in, or
yeah,
okay.
Basically.
So you go ahead and I guess leave it, because then you're putting 5 back in anyway. But you,
I brought 5.
Yeah, you brought 5. So go ahead and add 5, and then we'll remember you put 5 in. So it's your wagers, and you're betting on Dorothy.
Yes.
Odds are 4-1 against him, so you stand to make some money against this one. But
Reinvald should have been here betting.
Well, it's just that some of the winnings from the last one that are at stake. So
yeah, absolutely.
Morgutt's good.
It's a clever gambler for an ogre. But all right. So, and then Morgutt, if you're going to get involved at any point, you can go ahead and roll your initiative as well.
I don't know that he will keep it up, but sure,
Okay.
Let's go ahead.
Yeah, you can choose whether or not you act on your... so you would be between them again. Dorothy, you are first again.
Okay, I will go up, and I'm going to try to beat Blade.
Very good. You can choose to beat Blade before rolling. Perform melee test. If successful, your opponent doesn't lose. So he doesn't have any advantage. But I guess if you make a successful test, you would gain 1. Oh no, it's not opposed.
Yeah, it's not opposed.
Okay.
So if I make the test and I'm successful, he loses an advantage and then further advantages per successful level.
Because he doesn't have advantage, I don't know if that actually does anything yet. Because the only let me see. Assess victory. Winning. Yeah, he doesn't. No one has advantage, so I think that's really useful if you're having trouble in a fight, and they get advantage, and you can try to use that to bring them back down and get it and go from there. So I don't think it applies yet.
Okay. Then I will instead try to... I'll just try to poke him right away.
So you can do that as a charge, and you get plus 10. He will try to defend with his dagger. If it rolls. No. So 4, 8. I think that's 12 again.
Yep, damage
12 minus
is
his...
plus 4, so.
Wow, ended that one fast. So you and let's see where you body. Oh no, you go ahead and roll your thing to see where you hit him. It's for descriptive purposes. Body, yes. So you stab him very deeply in the body, and he nearly drops to a knee, but instead blood kind of pours out, and he looks stunned that he was caught off balance, but he quickly, I concede. He puts the blades away.
I nod to him, and I look over to the snake, and I say, I'll take that medic now.
And Litz smiles and gestures over here to the lady in white. And Morgutt, you quad up. So you've earned 25 copper total from this one.
That's amazing.
So go ahead and add all that in as the bookkeeper looks a bit livid.
Thank you, Dorothy.
Yeah.
Morgutt, buy Dorothy a drink.
I think I owe you a drink.
And yeah, Dorothy. So go ahead and remove all your wounds, Dorothy. You may roll if you have a lore empire or anything like that. You may roll it to see if you understand, or just a basic intelligence test if you want to understand who this is. If you recognize what this healer might be affiliated to, it is kind of familiar, maybe, but if you're not familiar with the empire, it might not be.
Okay.
But it's a woman in white. Initiative.
Oh shit! I rolled the wrong one. There we go.
Yeah, it's successful. It is a Shalian priestess. You might not know a great deal about the goddess, but she's basically an empire goddess of mercy, and many of her followers are known to practice the healing arts, whether through divine means or just understanding basic first aid. And this one appears to have some magical connections. You can do with that information what you will, but she says nothing over the course of healing you there, and your wounds go to 0 as you are fixed. Well, let's kind of walks up as things are finishing up with her. And I promised you winnings. There you go. He gives you a coin purse. We'll go over that amount. I believe we had previously discussed it as 20 silver?
Think so. I'll give him 5.
He looks a bit confused. What's that for?
For not saying anything.
He smiles. I'm gonna put in a good word with you. We're gonna find you something more profitable, more entertaining. You like that sound?
It sounds perfect to me.
Good. He goes from his pipe and... well, all we got left now is some rumble pits. Nothing that's gonna interest you.
Oh, no, but I think the big man over there is going to be mighty interested in that, so I think I need to go and buddy up to him.
Well, go on then. We'll be at this for a few more ticks. He looks at the moon. You guys can RP a bit before we go forward.
Oh, Margaret, big man. I didn't expect to see you here.
Morgutt was passing by. Saw a fight.
Well, I hope it was to your liking. I know it's probably not as visceral as you'd normally like.
Was good. Should have torn arm off, though.
Well, can't quite do that with that one, but maybe in the rumble pits down there, maybe there'll be arm tearing and leg tearing and ear biting.
Fighting pit?
Yeah, down that way. How about I get you a drink and you can tell me all about it?
Sounds good.
I will buy him a bucket of beer.
Yeah, it's only a couple copper, so however you want to sort that out. But yeah, you buy him a big bucket of this just rancid beer that they have back here in the copper drop lane.
Morgutt probably thinks that's just fine.
Yeah, anything further on this one, or do we want to move forward to Next Day Tavern?
I think I have ate up enough time, so...
Yeah, I'm good with moving on.
Yeah, we can do some of the fighting pit stuff in RP as well, Morgutt. If you were going to participate. But yeah, I want to move forward just for the others here.
Yeah, let's.
All right, so rest of the night goes rather swimmingly. You aren't mugged going back to the tavern that you've been staying at. And, both of you make out with a fair bit of coin as a result of either bets or clever fighting. And the next morning comes earlier for some than others, but after enough time, the four of you would eventually find yourselves in the inn. You've been staying at, called the Drogerson Inn, after its proprietor, Snorri Drogerson, who you have met when you first came into town a few days ago. Bring everyone out. And you aren't the only ones here. There are quite a few patrons, even in the morning. Some people having breakfast, some people getting started early on the drinks. And Snorri is behind the bar, tending it. And now is a bit of open role play. You guys can go ahead and come out whatever order you want and discuss things.
Sure. Reinvold would be. This is the next morning, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Reinvold heads on down, not in his more roguish-looking gear, in his finery. Although it's finery, it's not exactly the highest end of stuff. He looks good, though, compared. It doesn't look like he's about to rob a place. As he kind of heads down and over to see Snorri. Snorri, how's it going?
Not too bad. Better if you paid your rent.
Yes, how much is left up?
I'm just giving you a hard time, tall one. Pay by the week. I know you lot have been staying in my tavern for a moment.
Good. You could certainly use the time to make some more coin. He kind of looks around the inn, kind of turning his back, leaning up against the bar by Snorri. Kind of looking over the place. I had a look around, but haven't exactly found anything yet quite worth making coin. As he puts one hand behind his back, and so that Snorri can see it very blatantly, but it's away from the rest of anyone in the main part. And he crosses his fingers behind the back in the religious symbol of Ronald.
Yeah, at first Snorri's just about to answer. He's like, you noble sorts maybe turn down too many jobs that require getting your hands dirty. And he looks over and sees the sign, and he stops rubbing the ale mug that he had. You see him kind of lean up, and he looks around the tavern. The bar's fairly empty. He looks at you and leans in.
Yeah, Reinvold kind of turns again, sliding onto his right elbow down on the bar. It's a shame. Seems like a lot of the merchants around here have some tightly shut doors. Might need a good bit of coin around these parts. I'm sure nothing a magpie might not pluck away at, though.
Well, there are opportunities to be had, depending on what kind of opportunities you're looking for.
He kind of, again, glances around, making sure it's quiet enough and there's not many people. Well, simple things. Novice things, perhaps, even. All good fellows must get a start somewhere, right?
Sometimes it starts to finish if they're no good. What's to say you're one of the ones who won't crap out?
Well, when it comes to moving quietly, I'm certainly good at that, at the very least. And he slides a silver coin over to Snorri. Besides, I've already made a small hit on the way to town.
And Snorri smiles and reaches for the coin. Before we move forward on that, what are the rest of you doing? Let's start with KRUGER. Uh-oh, Sam, you're lighting up, but I can't hear you.
I know.
Alright, put a brief break in it, just for a moment, Aggie.
We're back.
Alright, at that brief pause, we're back here. It's small technical difficulty. But Sim, go ahead.
So after coming down, KRUGER would actually go sit at a table, and he's kind of thinking about what he heard when he on his way into the inn yesterday, the day prior, right? Would be the day prior, correct?
Yep, day prior.
Yeah. And he kind of sees everybody else. How'd you all sleep?
Morgutt sleep good.
Good to hear.
Reinvald over by the bar, still talking with Snorri, kind of gives a nod and a wave. Only half looking that direction. Seems to be having a slightly hushed conversation with Snorri.
You see some bruises on my face and some cuts, but I just smiled large and, I slept like a lamb.
You look like a lamb.
Oh. I bark and bite like a sheepdog, though.
You look like you've seen some fun times.
I definitely have, and I have something to talk to you about, though, there, my good traveling companion.
Oh, you do?
I do. When I was... he gestures for you closer.
Yeah, he'll slide in a little closer.
I don't want to be really getting this out and about here, but when I was cleaning out your wound the other night when we came into this wonderful city that we're in, I pulled out, and I hold up one of the shards of glass that I pulled out. I pulled one of these out, or I pulled about 3 of these out of your wound. Do you have any idea what these are?
The shards of glass.
Aye.
And he kind of looks at him. Would he know what they were?
Roll. Ooh, what would this be? Let me look at what you have, KRUGER. This one would be a bit tough, but you do have some skill with the arcane, so let's say... I don't think you have anything. I would say roll just a straight intelligence test, no plus 20. Because you don't have any lore for any of this. No clue.
No, I've never seen those before.
Aye, this is called, I guess, warpstone. It's incredibly dangerous for people of your persuasion, if you catch my drift.
My persuasion.
Aye, you're you know, down in that fight down in the sewer there, you know, saw some things that you might not want to be getting out too much.
Pretty sure I hid behind MORGUTT. I didn't do much or nothing but run away from that stupid rat.
Alright, well, it can cause cancers, tumors, things like that if it gets too exposed to it. I pulled some of this out, and I only have one other piece, but I pass it over to him. You can have this. I don't have any need for it.
Now, how do you think it got inside my wound?
That I have no idea.
You and me both. I couldn't imagine one of those rats would have it.
I wouldn't think so either, but right bastards, a lot of them. Who knows what they get up to down underneath the workings of the city.
Yeah, who knows what's down there at all? I mean, the vision I seen was there. Who knows? But I do appreciate it. I'll have to look at. Seems quite interesting.
No, naturally, of course. I figured you might be curious about it. But other than that, though, I slept like a lamb, like I said. And me and MORGUTT have had some good times on the town, haven't we, MORGUTT?
Yes. MORGUTT enjoy.
Think you and me be going to find more things to enjoy here in the near future, don't you?
Yes. MORGUTT like betting on Dorothil.
Betting, you say?
Dorothil's a good fighter.
I nod at him.
Uses funny skinny sword, but is good fighter.
Sometimes the skinny sword is quick, though.
We'll bounce back over to Ryan Wall here, and yeah, Snorri again, looking around. So you're looking for work that's for neophytes to the craft, then?
I suppose that would be quite sufficient. I've applied my trade elsewhere, but I'm new to town. I don't exactly have the connections I would very much like to.
Well, we can see about getting you connected. I've got something that I might be able to have you do.
That's quite kind of you. I did, well, frankly, I did find a couple of marks that might be suitable, but, well, we'll see about that, I suppose.
Well, this one's particular, something that needs done. You're familiar with, well, you've been in town a few days. It's an elf called Alandril.
Alandril, huh? Someone important?
It's a merchant in the Marktplatz.
No.
He likes to sell fancy elvish fineries, clothes mainly. He's princey.
That does sound familiar. Out of character, would this be one of the shops that I marked when I,
It was one of your marks. It's one of the lesser guarded ones.
Yeah.
But still some bars in the windows.
Nice. Yeah, yes, I knew it sounded familiar. And you see he kind of slides this small slip of parchment out from, it looks like the lining of his sleeve. And he kind of shows it to Snorri. This one here, yes?
Yeah, and he brings it. And I'm assuming this is like a diagram kind of thing.
Yeah, it's basically a very very lightly sketched map of the Marktplatz with his own marking system, essentially, to keep track. That way it can't be like, oh yeah, rob this place. Well, no, it's just marked with I's and X's and shit, so...
Yeah, so he looks at it. This one right here. Yeah, it looks like the Marktplatz. That's the bugger's home.
Well, it seems everything's falling into place, isn't it? It was one of the better-looking marks.
Well, I only need one thing from in there. It's an artifact. Looks like a boar. Brass. Probably 30, 40 pound.
I can do that. Any idea of the layout? I scouted a bit, but if there's anything unique about it, it would be good to know.
It's 2 stories high. Fairly modest means for how much coin he rakes in. Likely keeps it that way on purpose. First floor, it's not going to be there. He prizes his particular possession. Second floor probably, might even be in his bedroom.
Take it. night is quite a lovely time in that area, if one were to take a stroll.
Could be, really open sightlines, and, you know, of course now isn't always the best time for taking walks with the patrols about. They've been stepped up since all this business with your emperor going nuts.
Tell me about it. Things just cannot get organized around here. Well, if kind of motions towards his own firing. If things go my way, perhaps we can change that in, God, Arnold knows how many years. He kind of slides the slip of paper back into his sleeve. But for now, small steps, indeed.
You get the brass bowl, 20 gold pieces, and I'll make you some contacts.
And if rumors are to be believed, you might be able to take care of anything else I find while I'm out.
Aye, I'll be having to figure out where those rumors came from, but you're not wrong.
Well, I have my ways. Nothing particularly special, though. As I said, novice enough.
But it's whenever you get around to it. Sooner the better, obviously, but even though I advertise this as neophyte work, truth be told, there's not much easier that we've got nowadays, well, with everything going on.
Yes, luckily enough, well, those walking about last night didn't seem to notice too much. The alleys are quite dark nowadays.
True. Full of awful things, if people are to be believed.
I think I'm quite a kind person. But yes, I do understand what you mean. We had a terrible run-in with rats on our way into town. It was horrible.
What exactly did you come into town at? I don't think you ever told me.
Ah, yes, we're following a caravan up, merchant caravan. Sadly, attacked by orcs. It was quite a slaughter. Me and my friends here managed to slip out before it got too bad. It was quite a losing battle. Found some caves. A pair of dwarves actually directed us up through the tunnels and here. Encountered the rats.
The sewers, then?
Yes, the sewers.
Orcs and rats. Spits into a mug and wipes it out. I'd warn you, if I cared a bit, to mind yourself ever going to the sewers. It's good for getting about, but rats, you don't want to be down there with rats.
They did seem quite vicious, and oddly enough, he kind of motions over towards KRUGER. My friend there seemed to trip a trap of some sort, it seemed like. He kind of wandered off, and then a bunch of noise, and then come the rats. Big damn things, too. The size of pups.
They get bigger than that. He continues wiping out the pint cup.
I hope to never see it. I'll stick to the island.
No, I hope you never do either. So, any other business, or you buying a drink?
I suppose that's enough for now, although I suppose we could probably use breakfast.
I'll have a wench bring it over to you.
Thanks, Snorri, for everything. He gives him a nod and another flash of the crossed fingers. Very quietly as he heads back to the table. Oh?
And, if you have any run-ins with the guard, I don't know you.
Ah, of course. Common courtesy. There's no honor amongst thieves, but Ronaldans are a different sort.
He nods and lets you off. And the rest of you can go ahead as well.
Yeah, Reinvold heads over to the table and takes a seat. Well, good morning, everyone. Things going well enough?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Snorri will be sending some food over with one of the wenches.
Oh, music to me ears.
Hungry night. I'm glad to get some food in me.
Oh, yeah, I worked up an appetite, so definitely I'd be needing some extra food. Shite, you know what? I need to go and talk to Snorri, our lovely innkeep, quick. I slap the table, hop up, and run over to him. Oi, Snorri.
Yes, elf.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to see you, smiling face rock eater, so early in the morning. I need to square up with you, don't I?
Aye, you do.
How much do I owe you?
And let me take a look at this so I can get it right.
And I'm asking for all of us.
Oh, very good. We'll say rooms hold 2. I won't charge an arm and a leg.
Damn near lost it in the fight, so I
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah.
Close. Not craftsmanship, not that. Services. Good gods, they place things so far down. There we are. Food, drink, and lodging. So, room private per night. It's apparently 10 coppers. So 2 rooms would be 20 coppers a night. Interesting.
Damn. Maybe I won't be.
To track money, I think 100 coppers is in the silver. Let's see.
I think it's 12.
12?
12 and then 20?
Yep, 1 silver shilling is 12 brass pennies. So, yes. 20, you guys have been here 3 nights and for 2 rooms, so that'd be 5 silver shillings.
All right. There. All right. I'll slap that down on the counter and smile over to him. There you go. I believe that makes a square at the moment, right?
He looks it over and counts each one of them and tests each one for if they're counterfeit or not. And
No, I definitely try to cheat you, Snorri. You're just such a shifty fella.
and he puts the coins in his coin purse. Alright, we're square. You find someplace knitting fabric?
Definitely. You know, it's for the children, but I think, you know, you put out the shoulders a little bit and it'll be just your size.
You got a sharp tongue, elf. And he puts the mug that he was cleaning. Straight teeth, too. Shame if they got knocked out.
I love you too there, sweetheart. And I just wave at him as I turn around and go back to the table.
The others would see Snorri just shaking his head as he goes back to cleaning cups.
There, now that's all taken care of. We are squared up for the 3 nights that we've been here.
Good. Thanks again for that.
Thank you.
Makes things far easier after losing just about everything in the whole caravan attack.
Well, you know, we made it through the sewers and all got safely inside with each other, so, you know, I figured it. Like begets like.
Indeed. Speaking of like begins like, I don't suppose anyone's found some interesting work around. I was thinking perhaps there might be some work we could all take up together. They seem quite adventurous sorts, and never know what kind of coin can be made in town.
The problem is there's not a lot going on right now. There's been no siege. Stock. Everybody's stockpiling, but had anybody else heard anything?
Something about some lumber mill, I believe it was. But aside from that,
Yes.
not much.
I've only heard of quiet farms. And apparently they rather hold on to their food, apparently. Who knows?
Yes, well, I don't think anyone wants to take night watch or rat catching. Aside from that, like I said, yes, something about Katzenbergs, I believe it was. Lumber mill and woodcut.
Katzenberger, yes.
They haven't mentioned why, though. A little bit suspicious, but it might be worth looking into.
It could be.
Money's
Definitely
money all ears, for sure.
Morgutt good at breaking and carrying things.
I just point at him and nod.
Oh, I suppose that would make some coin in itself. Who knows, given the fact they're logging, and he kind of thinks about it for a moment. I did see the orcs recently. I wonder if they might have caught on. Well, I suppose there's no other way but to check, right?
With a look.
Indeed.
After all, we got MORGUTT here, and my understanding, we got Ortho. Good fighter as well.
I'm nothing special with a blade, but I don't doubt I could do some scouting for you all, if the need arose.
Just hide behind the big guy.
I suppose after we eat, we might as well go check it out.
Oh, I believe so. It sounds alright, intriguing to me. Can always use more coin.
Indeed. Judged from the sound of it, we could use quite a bit more if we wish to keep staying here.
Oh, it's no joke. Damn dwarf is trying to rob us blind.
He seems quite a nice fellow. Get on with him quite well, I think. Besides, he didn't lop your head off when you come in. The two in the cave seem like they would love to.
Small miracles and whatnot.
Well, right now that's all that we got.
Indeed. Better than nothing. Coin's coin in the end.
Alright, so you guys are gonna go visit Katzenberg Lumber Co. Let me get that name right. Alright, so looking at Katzenberg's lumber and wood cutting. Yes, so in regards to finding, it's not too difficult to find. There's a small building in the marked plots that you're able to get direction to and locate pretty quickly here. Has a large sign outside with a two-man saw cutting through a large tree. In eloquent script in Katzenberg's lumber and wood cutting. Rather, again, large sign. Cumbersome even. And I'll bring you all out here.
Yeah, and after they get on their ways a bit and start heading out, Reinvold kind of asks for a moment, dips into an alley, and he does actually switch into his more rugged gear by comparison.
And as you approach, the door is open. kind of a standard thing for some shops during business hours, and there is a younger looking man with a few scars on his face. Dorothy, you would actually recognize him. As you approach, you would have seen this is the same young man that worked at the alchemists.
Oh, hi, it's a pleasure to see you again. Marcus, right?
And he goes into a shtick as, oh, hello, welcome to Cats. Oh, yes, mister. My apologies. There are so many people that come into these shops. I can't remember your name.
Ah, yes, it's Tilgard. Mr. Tilgard.
Ah, Mr. Tilgard, yes. And he looks at the others. And Co. How can I help you? And he sees Morgutt. Fine gentleman.
I believe, and, I do believe an acquaintance of mine.
Reinvold kind of steps up. Yes, and he kind of looks, gives the others all an eye. My name is Raynor. I had heard something about some work with the lumber company.
Yes, Mr. Raynor. Lord Katzenberg, as it is, as he refers to be referred to, there is a contract out to sort out some business with the lumber company. We have a camp. Oh, let me get the full details. I apologize. And he goes through some paperwork. No, not that. Orders. There we are. And he puts on his glasses. Oh, this is all very fancy. Well, essentially what is going on is there have been shortages in production coming from the lumber camp, and when we have scribed for the reasons to this, they respond that some of the woodcutters have been disappearing.
I don't suppose it's out to the east, down towards the wood? Along the road.
It is along the road. It is further into the wood. Actually, from... He's kind of trying directions. You're heading north into the Reichwald. The northwest, actually. But you take the road. We have a marking. There is a trail that's been cut to the current lumber camp, just to keep track of things. Marked. I could give you, well, we could give you direction on that, and you'd be able to find. It's a bit deeper in the wood, a better quality than some of the things by the wayside.
My. And I don't suppose there's any obvious threat or problem there that would be worth knowing about ahead of time.
Mr. Raynor, is it?
Raynor, yes.
Mr. Raynor, it is the Reichwald. It is full of danger, but also profit.
I suppose that's fair enough. Very well then. And how much exactly was it paying?
Ah, yes. It is a total of 30 gold pieces to the group or individual, if someone is so bold, that solves the issue and corrects the problem. Production is paramount for the lumber company, so we must be on track with the numbers as Lord Katzenberg requests.
My, well, decent enough sum, I suppose. Kind of looks at the others. What do you say?
Yes, well, I do say that sounds like a reasonable sum.
Morgutt like money.
Yeah, Reinvold kind of sits there doing the math in his head and kind of plucking up his fingers and everything. Oh, yes. A good 7,000. Yes, that seems suitable.
Very good. Let me get the contract paperwork. He brings out a few things. And can all of you read?
Reinvold nods.
Dorothil does as well.
Oh, that's a good question.
I would assume that you could.
Any special skill is it?
I think if you know a language, you... Oh, no, actually. That wouldn't
Mine
be right,
was
because...
Talents.
I presumed I did because I
if
have
you-
noble bloodline.
Yeah, I would say noble gives you a pass on. Actually, if you don't have read and write, you may not be able to read. You might be able to read magic script, KRUGER, but not regular handwriting, as strange as that is.
Pretty good in the spoken language, though.
Yeah. And MORGUTT is obviously a philosopher. After seeing the two of you kind of stop and say things, and he looks to MORGUTT and KRUGER, if you can't read, then you can just mark a sign, and we can relate it to you for paperwork reasons. We just have to submit this to the bureaucracy of any open contract.
Of course.
This contract, and he gets it out, will certify that you agree to complete this task to the best of your ability for Katzenberg, lumber, and woodcutting. Penalty of failing to complete the contract or giving up on the contract would be the inability to request any further contracts with us, and we would report you to the city as well as, not ne'er-do-wells, but it would be marked in the records.
Of course.
Interesting.
Sounds fine to me. He heads up to sign, quite fine with it.
Yeah. So he collects all the signs, or signatures.
Morgutt's sign is a smiley.
Amazing.
KRUGER just put an X.
Right. So he puts it away, and now, if you'll look here, and he kind of shows a map, there is a tree marked with blue ribbon about there, I believe is where it is. About a day and a half travel, 2 days travel up towards Altdorf. So you want to look for that, and then you're going to head to the west another day and a half, and it will be there.
Alright then, and Reinvold actually takes out a different piece of parchment, not his special one, and kind of a little piece of charcoal, and starts kind of sketching down notes as well as like a general idea of the way to go before sliding it back away into his pack.
You may want to also mark down our man there who is in charge. He is a member of the common folk known as Ernwulf. It's ERNWULF.
Ernwulf. Good.
All right, and he puts that away. I'll get this filed, and we'll put it in with the paperwork. Anything else I can help you with?
Don't suppose. Well, unless you want to give us a forward payment.
Unfortunately, Lord Katzenberg has
I'm
had
joking.
some... good.
Well, I suppose good day then. Best of luck to you. Hopefully we'll see you once we've sorted the problem out.
And to you as well.
And right, what concerns the others? Well, I think that went quite well.
Yes, I agree.
Well, decent pay, and he kind of looks around, like, once they're a little bit away from, like, the hustle and bustle. And by the way, don't exactly want to be known as a nobleman doing, it's not exactly lowly work, but you understand the precedent it would set? So do excuse me if I use an alias here and there.
Oh, yeah, I have nothing to worry about aliases. I understand my folk aren't necessarily well regarded in the Empire or by normal human standards all the time, so that's why I cover up my ears and go by Mr. Tilgard with people like that.
I don't know about regard, but certainly storied individuals you seem to be. Well, at least you're thought of that way.
Well, we like to keep it interesting, that's for damn sure.
Well, don't go using your strange elven ways on me anytime soon.
I think it's too late. I already got you in me snare.
Oh, no. Such a curse is placed upon me, then. Yes, well, I suppose we'd best get ready. If we want to pay, we'd best make sure we're the first ones there to take it.
I agree.
All right, and would you like to provision for this journey?
Sounds like a good idea. We could always just wander through the forest and hunt what we can and hope we don't starve to death, but...
This is true. Could do. Food, drink, and lodging. Rations. New rations. So rations are 2 copper for a day's worth. So for 4 of you, I'm going to say MORGUTT is going to require 4 because he's a big boy.
Motherfucker.
So 2, 4, 6, so 10, basically 10 copper for a day. And travel there and back is between 6 and 7 days. So,
Yeah, so about
depending on
7
the pace you set. Yep. I would say that's correct. So that'd be about nearly 6 pieces, I think, of silver.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I will chip in 3.
Yeah, presuming that the others don't have a whole lot, Reinvold will quite curiously put 3 in, seeing as it seemed before when he talked to those dwarves that he didn't have any.
Alright, and I'll assume, I believe most people start with standard trappings of water skins, things like that, so you may get bedrolls or anything like that if you want to, look into what that costs to get, if that was something you would look at, unless you're over, you could just sleep on the ground, whatever you want to do.
Probably gonna buy a nice little bottle of wine to take with, but I mean, we'll see. I have to go through what else is there.
Wine is
It's like 10D
10.
per bottle.
10D per bottle, yep.
Not terrible. Yeah, I'll have to
Yeah, how bedroll?
A bedroll.
For a bedroll, let's see. Would you believe they don't have that on the list? Really?
Wow. Yeah,
Throw
it's
some
not bad.
straw.
Huh.
Miscellaneous trappings.
Miscellaneous trappings? Let's see.
Yes.
Oh.
I just can't read.
Oh yeah,
Outrageous.
it's well down there.
Oh, wow, it's way down there. Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
miscellaneous
Morgott.
trappings.
Big, look at the
Down
big
by
brain on
prosthetics.
Morgott. Well done, Raven. Prosthetics, yeah. Pretty good place for it.
6 silver bedroll.
Bedroll, 6 copper appears.
Or 6
Copper.
silver even.
I think
Oh,
that's
6 silver? Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 6 slash.
So Morgott will take a blanket and a keg of ale.
Yeah, how much is a blanket?
Blanket is
8
8 copper.
8 copper? Fuck.
Mhm.
A brass.
Yeah, brass brass pennies.
Okay, I'll take a blanket.
KRUGER will take a blanket as well.
And
Use
blankets
all
all
pennies.
around.
Let's see.
It's all an investment.
Sure.
Definitely need to invest in some dice at some point, but
Kruger would like to haggle down the price of that blanket.
Oh, would
Of
you
all the
really?
blankets. Yes,
all
he
right.
would.
Of all the blankets, by all means, let's go ahead and try to convince
These
this
blankets are
merchant to lower the
pox-ridden.
price. Yeah.
I'll take them at discount and sell them to my enemies.
Let's see.
Oh, those are... Okay, so bed rules are very
Haggle.
useful.
Roll me a haggle.
Nice.
Well, I will point out every single blanket. It's
The thread count on this isn't even high enough.
well,
Okay,
son of a
he,
bitch.
he could fail worse than you. Did you do that with plus 20? No, he
Oh, no, I
succeeded
didn't.
with plus 20.
Yes.
That's a basic success.
Nice.
Success of 0. So he could fail. Let's see. Generic merchant. I don't have a blanket merchant set up. Unfortunately, in my lack of wisdom. Oof. Good luck. Merchants are good at one thing and one thing only.
Oh, no. Good.
And it ain't haggling.
Oh, man.
Cut your blanket prices in half because this man does not know how to sell his product. So instead of 8, it's 4. So it'd be
Very nice. Well, I guess
16 brass. So what do you say to convince this man to sell his wares at basically half price?
Help. These look like the same blankets that were on the dead men we seen on the way in the town. You're not trying to
One has smallpox.
You're not trying to sell us dead men's articles of clothing, are you?
Oh, keep your voice down. He kind of looks around. What are you talking about? These were made at my home.
I don't think these were your home. And he kind of pulled it up. I don't know. They look identical. You sold many of these lately.
And there are people nearby looking at him awkwardly. Listen, don't say things like that about my business. I need to sell this to put food on. For 4 then. And shut your mouth.
We'll take him even though it's against my better judgment. And he'll look over at everybody else. Anybody else want the blanket? And he'll toss him.
That sounds like
4
a
pennies.
fine investment.
This good blanket. Doesn't stink.
Yes. I'd like one as well.
Alright, so mark everything you've bought. Blankets, wine, rations. You've got basically 7 days of rations. Each one of you has a blanket for travel. So you will get the benefits of a full rest, believe it or not, with that. Not a long rest, an actual rest.
Oh, shit.
What were you gonna say, Aki?
I was just gonna say I don't think we actually have packs, do we? I have a sack. I need to check on a backpack.
Sex.
Yeah, I have a sling blade. Sling bag.
You can tie off the blanket to the sling bag. Yours is easy. It's tied off.
Yeah.
You can tie it off to the sack as well, to be fair.
True.
Yeah, sling bag as well.
I've just
Backpacks are a bit expensive.
Yeah, I remember that being the case. Yeah.
4 silver.
Oh, actually, fuck, I'm just short. Just a bit. Because I have 2 and 20, and then I spent the 4 because I spent the 4.
So anyone carrying a sack, it requires 1 hand to carry while you're traveling. So you'll have to drop it.
Yeah, I think I'll buy carries 2. So that
sling
is...
bags do not
need?
count as that. 4 silver for a basic backpack.
Yeah, 4 silver.
Do you
10
need
copper,
1, you said?
or bronze.
Did you need 1 silver, did you say?
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, he's like looking through everything. He looks over a backpack, but then he seems like he's about to slide over and grab a sling bag. But,
I'll flick him a silver. Ah, there you go. Treat yourself, Fancy.
You sure?
Hey.
That's quite kind of you, Dorfield. I dare say you might be after me at this rate.
You keep up your gilded tongue, and I just might be.
Well, alright then. And yeah, he'll go ahead and head over to the merchant at hand and pick up a pack. So let me see. That change that to 3. And that's 3. That leaves me 20. And yeah, cool.
Must be nice to be able to throw around those silvers.
Well, I look at at KRUGER and I just get really serious. Killed a man to get him.
And you only got that many silvers out of him.
I killed him a couple times. Morgott was there. He saw me.
I have no doubt, but I figured you might be able to get more silvers out of killing a man.
Well, when I come back to town, then you know, I might have a through line on maybe getting some more.
All right, I'll have to pay attention. Maybe I could get someone's wedding.
Oh, maybe. Next time I'm going out, I'll bring you along.
MORGUTT bet on tag team.
Oh, there you go.
Everybody's bought their things.
Yeah, I'm actually... I think I'm still too short. Because I forget, it's not 10s that it converts, it's
12.
12s. I was converting in 10s, but yeah. So he'll probably actually toss you the silver back. It's for the best, actually. I don't need more than a sling, and we might need the silver, you never know.
Fair enough.
Alright. So, everybody keep track of your purchases and coinage.
I'm actually going to buy a vial of oil as well as a few matches, just in case. I don't have a lantern, but there's so many things you can use oil for in these things.
Oh yeah.
Do we need a water skin?
To carry water. To carry water, I suppose you could try. There are a fair number of streams and everything in the Reichwald. If you wanted to drink that, so you could stop and drink. Or
All right, I'll do that.
Okay. All right. And you set out immediately, all of you?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty early in the day.
That's no reason to stick it around.
Okay. So you begin your travel through the Reichwald, heading through the northern gate of Helmgart, following the map that's been laid out for you. The first day passes with really nothing going on. A few travelers on the road, hi and bye kind of thing, as they pass along. You camp out just to the side of the road. Nothing happens. Second day, noon, around midday, you're traveling towards the camp. About cutting through some trees that are in the wood here to get back on the path. I want everyone to make me a perception check at plus 20.
Nice.
Yeah, I gotta keep remembering this plus 20.
I am giant!
Ugh.
Perception.
What the what?
Jesus.
Oh my.
Oh god.
There it is.
D100, how I hate you.
I love it. See? It's so good.
Is this acute sense?
It would be acute sense, yes. So you'd get a second success level from that.
All right.
So MORGUTT and KRUGER don't really see anything, but Dorthil and Reinwald both pick up on people moving through the trees around you, kind of, and you start to see some people. Let me bring them out so you can have a look at them.
Oh,
I think there's two.
I have such a feeling. Hey. If this is the boy you ripped the fucking ear off of.
Funny that you mentioned that. So you do see them all, the two of you. Double Dorothy, baby.
Yep.
Sorry about that, KRUGER. There you go. You guys can move you guys can set the order in which you would have been traveling in.
Oh yeah, Reinvold's usually in the back. Well, I mean, that seems fine enough.
It's up to you.
He's alongside MORGUTT. He's fine, and he's not behind MORGUTT. That's the important thing.
So yeah, you're moving through, and then the two of you see them. Rather obviously, they're creeping around.
Yeah, Reinvold kind of begins to slow to a stop. Hand on his blade.
What are we stopping?
Several fellows.
Oh, we got some company.
Yeah. You all go beat them with your pointy sticks and stuff.
And one of the men steps out from the tree, and you see he has a bandage around his ear, and he points at Dorothy. There he is, boss. That's the one that took my farkin' ear. And he points you out. You see this man step out from another one of the trees. He's about a head taller than the others that you've seen. He stands and throws a blade over his shoulder, not so broken, and he says, well, what are you gonna do to make this right then? And the scene will fade to black. And we'll call that one a session.
Good
Awesome.
No.